Speaking of taking into account, one of the major issues that your critics have brought against the party in the last two elections was the party's inability to collect your results independently. Is the NDC now in the position to do that? What is the strategy for 2024 in collating the results?
Nobody goes to war by proclaiming the number of weapons he or she has. So it is something that I'm not going to talk about.
Would you have real-time results in 2024?
I'm saying that let's wait for 2024. It is an internal process. And so if our party people are satisfied that our preparation for the elections is adequate, let it be adequate and let it remain within the party.
The NDC, particularly your candidate, former President John Dramani Mahama, has vowed to resist any attempt to rig next year's elections. What's the strategy to ensure that the election is not rigged? How will you ensure that?
Again, I'm not going to tell you that we are coming to fight you. Tomorrow we will come with a bow or arrow or a shotgun.
Is there a plan, or you don't have one yet? Is there a plan, or you don't have one yet?
I'm saying that, look, it is not good planning to be talking about your preparedness to fight an enemy. You use your left hand or right hand to shoot the bow or the arrow and so on. Is it something that I don't talk about?
Let's move away from that and talk about recent comments from the NPP regarding how the Ghanaian people would view them going into the 2024 elections. They say, look, we've got a whole year ahead of us and things are going to improve within that year. Ghanaians would have forgotten the NDC by then.
So they are accepting that things are no good now. You are talking now, you are hoping to improve. So the assumption is that you now agree that things are no good.
Absolutely.
They accept that things are no good.
And they think that by the time it's December 2024, things would have improved and Ghanaians would have forgotten the NDC.
We wish them well.
Well, so if things have improved, then what else would the NDC be holding the NPP to?
Are you saying that in countries where there is double-digit economic growth, there is no change of government in any election?
And again, I'm asking that question because
you see, the economy is just part of the, what do you call it? Part of the problems you deal with in the campaign. It's not the only thing that features in the campaign.
So what else would you be holding the NPP to account?
It's bad governance. The verdict is out that NPP has demonstrated, in the past 8 years, has demonstrated the worst form of governance this country has ever witnessed in this Fourth Republic. And so, bad governance is a major issue that is going to feature in the next election. You understand? Whether your economy improves or does not improve, nobody can live in a country where there is such a discrimination that even when the discrimination has permeated every facet of life, that if you are this, this is the law that applies to you. If you are this, no law applies to you, even if you do the wrong thing. Go and look at the distribution of practically every state resource in this country. Today, all opportunities, practically all opportunities in the country are located based on whom you know, where you come from, and which party you belong to. Is that the democracy you want to live under? Today, you have a system where majority of Ghanaians cannot trust in the criminal justice system. And it has been demonstrated all over. in research upon research.
I see.
And today, regions and groups of populations don't feel belonged to the system. And so even in recruitment into the security services, look at what is happening. Do you think that that is a sustainable way of maintaining our democracy, where recruitment into the security services is based on whom you know and your links in government? You are going to have a security system that is polarized and cannot unite to fight any enemy. You see, so there are issues of governance. There are issues about corruption, nepotism, and many, many other, lack of respect. I mean, leadership not taking responsibility.
Right.
So, and trying to shift responsibility to everybody apart from themselves.
Chairman, my guess is the NDC may have learned some lessons since 2016. Again, because a lot of these things you're saying were also things that we had and reported on under the NDC.
You preach them.
What are some of the...
you preach them when they didn't exist. And because you were hearing it...
Is that the case?
Yes, you preach about them when they didn't exist. When they started calling President Mahama's government family and friends government, he had only one member of his family in that government. Only one member of his family in that government. And you were preaching it all over the place. Family and friends.
What are the lessons that you have learned?
The lessons is that I believe that we need, and I believe that the media has also learned lessons.
No, what are the lessons that the NDC has learned?
The lessons we have learned is that when you manufacture a rat trap, you must beat the path. You must yourself advertise.
What does that mean, Chairman?
What it means is that we felt, from the revolutionary background, we felt that if you do things to people, you don't go making noise about it. The people there will feel it. And so they will vindicate you when it comes to voting. Then MPP came on board and they used media to create wrong impressions, even where development is taking place. They find a way of creating the impression that development will not bring money into your pocket.
Isn't the NPP already saying the same thing against the NDC and the Ghanaian media? Exactly what you're saying. What I was hoping to hear are the lessons that, the NDC has learned in governance.
That's what I'm saying, that we have learned lessons.
But you're blaming the media at the end of it.
I'm saying that we came from a background of not preaching what we have achieved sufficiently.
Okay.
When our opponents were rather painting us black and we said, oh, people know what we have achieved. So we are now learning our lessons that when we come, we must increase
Which brings me to the question, what kind of a president is the NDC bringing us going into 2024?
The president who is always truthful to his people.
I see.
Who takes responsibility and makes sure that when there is a problem, he will not dodge the problem and be blaming other people. He will face it, take the necessary decisions, and if those decisions are bringing hardship, he talks to his people that, look, this hardship yet is temporary. It is intended to help us contribute towards a better future. And so that is the president we are bringing. And we are bringing a president with foresight, who knows that when I need to do free secondary education, I need to provide the infrastructure. I'm looking at the resources that are available in the country. And so this is the way we should approach it so that we don't go and hit the wall and now begin to come back. But let me come back and explain to you why I'm saying that you are responsible. When President Mahama spoke to the media in South Africa about the way he's being criticized, is he not worried, does he have a sound sleep? And he said that, oh, now as for criticism, he has developed the shock absorbers to absorb criticism. So it's like a dead goat who doesn't fear a cutlass. Then you take it to mean that if you criticize him,
Chairman,
he will never listen to you. That was what you media people projected. And then,
Chairman,
the
former president is only now explaining himself.
No, we explained it at
syndrome.
that time. We explained. This interview was conducted when he was in South Africa. It wasn't even in Ghana. Then on the case of the other one you are talking about, the dead goat syndrome, and the other one where he said that, look, if you have not, those who have sat on the saddle know where it pinches. So Bawumia should be careful because he had not sat on this seat before. It was taken out of context and projected as if because he's a president, then nobody who has been a president can criticize him.
Are there any changes?
That was completely wrong.
Are there any changes that you hope that the former president himself, on that personal level as the number one person in this country, should that be the case in 2024?
I'm saying that those things you are accusing him of, it was your problem. You took what he said out of context and believed that it meant that he was a president who does not accept. It seems
you are now taking me out of context. What I'm asking is, are there some personal lessons that you feel that John Dramani Mahama should have learned going into 2024, and what would those be?
Well, I believe that he has known human beings better. So in his next government,
human beings, who would
Ghanaians,
fall within that?
Generally Ghanaians.
I see.
You know, when you are in power, it's a different thing, the set of friends you have. When you are outside power, you see the set of friends, whether they are lawyer or not lawyer.
So when he was in office, he didn't know us too well.
These are things, nobody knows human beings perfectly until they die, the day they drop dead. Every day we learn something new about human beings. Every day we learn something new about friends and opponents and so on.
Chairman,
so
how would you describe cohesion in your party at the moment?
Oh, it's as cohesive as any political party could be, which is poised on winning power.